Hi everybody and welcome. I want to share with you a very simple procrastination hack that I have found to be very helpful, because we probably all know the feeling that we have something on our to-do list, but we just doesn't get around to do it, either because we're overwhelmed or we are too pressured. And then it just gets moved from this day's to-do list to the next day, and the next day we don't end up doing it either, so we move it further down the line and we keep on moving it, and it ends up just being procrastinated forever. I think we all know that feeling. So this tip is something that will help you with that, because it's so simple and so helpful, so stay tuned. So before I jump right in, let me just say welcome to the channel if you're new here, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for watching. On this channel we mainly talk about minimalism, habit building, self-improvement, and all things in that kind of alley. So if that sounds something good to you, you should definitely subscribe to the channel for more content in the future. Now let's jump right back. So it's a very simple tip. So what happens is we sort of build up some resistance to actually doing the task we have set out to do. So we keep on moving it because we probably feel overwhelmed, or there's something in us that doesn't help us get started to the task. So this simple tip is called the rule of half. So if you have a task and you move it from, let's say, Wednesday to Thursday, and you still don't get it done on Thursday, it's okay to move it one day, because we can have time pressure, there can be some urgent stuff. There's been a plethora of reasons that's actually all right reasons for it to be moved to another day. But then the next day, if it still doesn't get done, then you use the rule of half. And it's very simple. You take the task and then you divide it in two. So you cut it down. Let's say, for example, that you want to run 4 miles. Then you just put the task instead, run 2 miles. If that still doesn't get done, then you can divide it even further into 2 halves, and that is just run 1 mile. And then you keep on moving it if you don't get it done. Obviously, it's not supposed to be some sort of extended way to just postpone everything. But what's usually happening is that when you actually start doing it, because that is usually the big problem, and that is just getting started. So when you start doing it, you often find that now you're already here. So let's, for example, say that you need to wash the dishes, and you have any number of dishes, pots and pans and cutlery and so on. So you feel overwhelmed, you don't do it. You cut it into 2 halves, you still don't do it, and then you just keep on dividing it. And then in the end, when you actually get started, when you just say, okay, let me just wash 1 plate, then you just start to do that. And when you're starting to get going, oh, I'm already here, let me just get 1 more. Okay, now we're already halfway finished, let's just get it done instead. So you build up a sort of momentum that just keeps going. So it's important to build on that momentum when you just get started. But even if you just get started, it's important to recognize yourself for actually having done what you set out to do, even if it's just writing 1 sentence on a blog post, doing 1 push-up for a workout, running 100 yards instead of the whole mile, or however you want to run, or doing 1 dish and so on. So it's important to recognize that you have actually achieved something. So this is something that can be applied to anything, basically. As I just mentioned, it can be if you want to write a blog post, if you want to make a YouTube video, if you want to work out more, if you want to clean the house more, if you want to spend more time with some family or friends and so on. You can start small and then build up. There's plenty of reasons or plenty of things this rule can be applied to. So it's all about just getting out there and actually start doing it. Because what happens is that if you feel overwhelmed, then you postpone it. But when you just cut it down into smaller segments, it's much easier to get going, because you see, okay, it literally takes maybe 2 minutes to do this, and then you get started. So that is basically it. That is the rule of half. You can apply it to anything you want. So if you did enjoy it, please leave a comment down below saying how you have applied this to your life. And if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It helps me out ever so much. Share it with a friend if you want. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.